This third iteration of Trump's travel ban really catching some by surprise because it added the nation of Chad. And Chad, of course, is an African country that is a close counterterrorism partner to the United States, has hosted U.S. troops, has been avidly involved in fighting groups like Boko Haram. But in saying that they put Chad on the travel ban, the United States said two things. Number one, Chad is a close counterterrorism partner, and that will continue. Number two, it's grateful for that, but that Chad, quote, does not adequately share public safety and terrorism-related information and fails to satisfy at least one key risk criterion. Additionally, several terrorist groups are active within Chad or in the surrounding regions, making the argument there that they could come through a Chadian airport into the United States and potentially be a danger to American citizens in that way. And President Trump over the weekend telling Americans via Twitter why he was doing this, quote, making America safe is my #1 priority. We will not admit those into our country. We cannot safely vet. Now, this Trump travel ban, Part 3, does begin on October 18th. You mentioned that it's going to also affect the DPRK. Well, very little impact expected there because, of course, there are no diplomatic relations and very little travel between those two countries. Now, when you think about the reactions that we're seeing from around the world on this, there are a couple that come to mind. Jawad Zarif, the foreign minister of Iran, tweeting this, quote, Trump's fake empathy for Iranians rings ever more hollow with his new and even more offensive travel ban against such outstanding citizens. Iran has never come off this list. It has been present in all three iterations. But Sudan did come off the list since the last two iterations, and it says this is a positive step between the two countries normalizing their relations. Again, this is a different iteration of this travel ban. It is permanent. It is not temporary like the other two iterations, which were 90 and 120 days. And it does add two non-Muslim countries to the list, Venezuela and the DPRK. We'll have to see how that affects the Supreme Court, which, of course, was scheduled to hear cases against the previous two parts of this travel ban. They have decided to delay hearing oral arguments in favor of listening to reasons why they should in the future. So at this time, we don't know whether the Supreme Court is going to rule on those previous cases and what, if any, impact that ruling could have on this latest Trump travel ban. Jessica Stone, CGTN, Washington.